Hey, Jay Nielsen here again, Nielsen's Mountain Hollow Custom Knives. Several years back I did a knife sharpening video. A lot of people seem to like it, using a belt grinder for quick and easy knife sharpening as opposed to doing stones and whatnot. I still pretty much do it the same way, but I got a lot of questions from people. I'm hoping to do an updated version, and we'll answer some of those questions for you. This is one of my butchering kitchen type knives. Just so you know, we're starting off good. I'll just knock the edge right off. So now you know that sucker is dull, ain't gonna cut anything. What I'm using a Kalamazoo grinder. It's got a Baldor motor. It's pretty filthy because I use it all the time. This is a great machine. It's a little more expensive than some of the other ones, and you don't need this machine. I had a lot of folks that were concerned about having to spend that much money on a grinder. When I started doing this same sharpening process, I had a small three-wheeled Harbor Freight grinder that I got for $45 or something like that. It was a 1x30. That would work just as well. The belts I get from Pop's Knife Supply in Georgia, and I'm using a Klingspor CS310 X-Weight belt. It's stiffer, it doesn't give you that flex, and it just puts an edge on it a little nicer. Now I normally use a 220 grit belt because on my knives I like to have some teeth in the grind as opposed to having a polished edge. You know, I'm not trying to whack scarves in half that fall from the sky or anything like that. I like to have the teeth in the edge so it bites into the material, whether it's meat or paper, cardboard, whatever it is. Now when I do the sharpening, I'm going to put pressure on it, but not push in too hard. And everybody always asks about angles. What angle for what knife? That varies. Completely varies between the person's preference, the type of knife, such as that. You can go anywhere from 25-degree angle to a 10-degree angle. It all depends on, you know, what you like the edge to do, the style of the knife, and how you're using it. Another question I always got a lot of times from people about the belts, about you can't do that because it'll heat up the blade, and blade will get too hot, and then you'll lose the temper. Well, after you heat treat a knife, you still got to grind it anyway, so it's the same principles. You just keep it cool. You notice I got the grinder right here, and I got a bucket of water right here. So anytime I make a pass, before that edge heats up, blade goes right into the water. So that way you keep things cool, you don't have to worry about burning things up. If you've got a larger blade, or whatever like this, you can go part of the way, dunk it, and keep going. You can do it in sections as long as you keep your angle correct if you're worried about overheating the blade. Until you get used to it, then you make full passes. Okay? So, on this kitchen knife, it's a thinner blade, so I'm going to go to a decent angle, about like here. I'm thanking my lovely wife Becky for her camera work. It makes this much easier, and she's not giggling, which helps. So you put a little bit of pressure on it. You see how the belt's flexing a little bit? So enough pressure just so you get that edge to roll over a little bit. Because on my knives, unless it's specified by a customer or whatever, I usually do what they call an Appleseed edge or a convex edge. So it's not coming down like a V. It's actually going to come like this. So that way when you're cutting, instead of everything dragging along the blade, it actually pushes the material away from the knife edge. So you're not sliding the material all the way up here. So that's where I put that little bit of flex in. So I'm going to go ahead and put the initial edge on. I see it, just one smooth pass going across. You gotta be careful on the tip. That's the one part you really want to be careful because that's where most people have problems with burning things. One pass on there. Do the same thing here. I don't know if Becky can get this or not. Come over here and you push up on this end. Just roll your finger up and you can see that little wire edge that you're going to end up knocking off. I don't know if the camera's going to get it or not. Okay. So, one more pass on either side. And like I said, nice, smooth, right into the water. You keep things cool. see if we can see that again. Now you'll be able to feel it. You feel that little bit of resistance as you're coming across. I got a little bit of the tip I didn't get on there, so one more quick pass. Just be on the safe side. Like I said, I like to use 220 grit. If you want a finer grit or something that's a little more polished on the edge, you can always use a 400 or 600 grit. That's all just personal preference. Okay, that's the fun part. Now from there, we got that wire edge we got to take off. So what I use is a leather belt, which you can also get these at Pops, I believe. There's a few other places. These I actually just made myself. Got a 1-inch strip of leather and cut it at angles, and I used an adhesive called Leather Weld, which holds these together really well. So, and this will do our stropping to take that wire edge off. I don't want too much slack on it. So whatever angle I did, actually you can probably see that wire edge really good right now in the light. See that line going across there? On the very edge, that's what the leather belt's going to take off. So this is going to do our stropping. Take care of doing that handwork. A little bit of white, mirror white buffing compound. I don't use very much of it because I don't want the edge to be polished. Now, whatever angle I sharpened at, what I normally do is just double that back. Like I said, I don't use set numbers or anything like that. So if I sharpened it like this, to strop it, I'd move it back about here. Simple way to do it. A couple passes. Again in the water. Not going to heat up as much with the leather belt, but you still don't want to take any chances. Now usually one pass on each side with the leather is enough. These kitchen knives are a little trickier. Usually I get a little bit left over and I'll just strop that off quick by hand. Thing about stropping, this is what I tend to do in the shop, which kind of horrifies a lot of people. Just do it right on the jeans like that. That scares the crap out of a lot of people, so I try to avoid doing that. So, you got different strops you can use, like your traditional leather strop, which I have one, but it's at the house right now. A lot of the people take a board and glue leather to it, which makes a good strop also. And this is basically just a simulated leg of mine. This is several layers of blue jeans on a board, and this will work the same way as I do it on my pant leg without scaring anybody. And you just want to go through to get all that wire edge off. And you get a little bit of buffing compound in there too, but also stropping that out. So that buffing compound will clog up the teeth in your edge. Slow down the cutting a little bit. A little WD-40. Now this is taking me quite a bit longer because I'm talking and trying to show how to do this, but from a completely no edge knife, like these little Valentine's ones I'm making, got no edge on them at all, I could sharpen a knife to hair pop in about 2 minutes. So that's one of the reasons I like this method. It's fast and it's effective. Now see if I got any hair left on this arm. I got some. You can actually hear the hairs popping off. Definitely slices hair. Nice and sharp. So again, instead of spending hours with stones, I don't have that kind of patience, and doing this for a living, I don't have that kind of time. You can get an inexpensive belt grinder. You get the belts from Pops or something like that. The belts are a couple dollars a piece. I can sharpen a few dozen knives with one belt before it starts dulling out. You can buy a leather belt or make your own, and you can knock this stuff out quick yourself. Get your fake leg strap or a leather strap, and hopefully that answers some of the questions you all had. And take a look at the website, see all the crazy other stuff we do, and we're gonna do some more videos too. And I hope this helps. Take care. Bye.